All right, I'd like to open up the October 3rd Historical Preservation Commission meeting. Roll call, Jose, Joe, Nancy,
Yes, here.
Lori,
Here.
Khalid.
Yes.
We have a quorum. Looking for a motion on the approval of minutes from March 7th, 2024.
I can make the motion to approve the minutes as written.
I can second that.
Second. Any discussion on the motion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 1 of business, selection of a chair. Looking for a motion to nominate a chair.
I move to nominate Lori.
We have a motion, looking for a second.
I will second.
Any discussion on the nomination?
It was easy.
How long have you been on it?
All right, roll call. Khalid,
Yes?
Nancy,
Yes.
and Lori.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
You could have stopped it.
Do you accept?
Motion passes. The meeting is now yours, Lori.
Okay. I have to pull up my agenda, sorry.
Sure.
Okay, so the next item would be to establish the 2025 meeting calendar. I know that the village had proposed changing it because there is a massive gap in the middle of like spring, summer where we just don't meet.
Right, I saw that.
And it gets hard to keep up with things. So I think the suggestion was every other month because we're the only commission I think that meets 6 times a year instead of 12. So this would be for next year, not this year, but it would start, I guess we'd have to decide if we wanted to do every other month, which month, like which way to do it so that it works out.
Yes, and we put together on the attachment a, where did it go? It's not there?
No, there was nothing in the attachment about dates.
Apologize if it isn't.
Is there one already
I
scheduled for
did
next
it.
month?
Oh, it didn't, I'm sorry, it was in the memo in the body. Sorry, I have suggestions, and I'll tell you in 1 second.
Give me 1 second, I can tell you.
And we are historical preservation. Just right there. Agenda item,
November.
meeting calendar.
November is the next one.
Yes.
21st.
Okay, so in an effort to streamline the village's meeting calendars and have the
First
HPC
Thursday.
become more accessible to the public and transparent, in every other month meeting schedule is proposed beginning in 2025. So we have suggested January 2nd, March 6th, May 1, July 3rd, September 4th, and November 6th. So every other, and that also gives you a meeting in May, which is
Yes,
Historic Preservation Month. So that's why we start the clock January, it always lands May because now you skip December, which is also the holiday season.
Yes.
That's lunacy as
Makes
it
sense,
is.
Yeah.
And then you kick back up again at the very beginning of the year.
What was the final date?
November 6th.
Yeah, can you read all those again?
Yes,
Sorry,
absolutely.
I could not.
So, and again, we are not proposing to change the Thursday, so the first Thursday of the month.
These are first Thursdays.
Yes. Just on the every other schedule. So January 2nd, March 6th, May 1, July 3rd, September 4th, November 6th, which is the first Thursday.
Do we have to vote? So somebody'd have to make a motion to.
You do. And then one other caveat, and I got to figure out how to get this because I have a little memo here. At this time, would it be appropriate to consider changing the start time of the meetings? At 7:30 is the latest commission meeting that we have. We do have commissions that start all the way as early as 5:30. And so, you guys all have lives. Do you need to wait this late in the evening to start a meeting? And that is open for discussion. Staff is good with anything up until 5:30. We can't start before that.
Sure. I would be okay with shifting it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
just don't know
same.
what everybody's,
Same.
For me, that's fine, whatever time schedule we have. So we can make the motion if you
So
like.
you
I
said
mean,
no earlier than 5:30. I'm in the
5:30 would be the
office
earliest, yeah.
Thursdays, so probably 6 is more
Mhm.
doable for me than 5:30.
I would be okay with 6 o'clock as well.
Okay, so someone would make the motion for 6 o'clock and adopting the every other, and then we can draft all that stuff and get it in front of the village board for approval.
Okay.
I move to change the meeting time to 6 o'clock and move to meet on the dates that Mark read off.
the first Thursday
First Thursday of the
of
month.
every other month.
Every other month, starting in January.
Yep, that's correct.
I make a motion
That was
that,
the motion. So
oh,
you're-
I'm sorry, I second it, yes.
Excellent.
Just looking at the July 3rd.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Okay. Then the motion passes.
Excellent. Cool. So we'll, as you guys may or may not know, the village board then approves the meeting dates, so that solidifies the dates, so that in 2025, if we have to cancel a meeting, we formally have to cancel it, post it, and do all that kind of stuff. So, heads
So
up.
I'm just gonna give y'all a heads up right now that
Yeah.
July 3rd, I will not be,
Okay.
because
Okay.
the museum has an event
Oh, okay.
that day,
Sure.
that time, like, and I have to.
Yeah. Totally fair. All right.
Okay, so next up would be the Historic Preservation Award Program. Okay, so for anybody that's new or doesn't know, the commission has an award program that people can apply for. There are a few different qualifications. It used to be a Sears home, an older home. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Landmark was the other.
Oh, yeah, historic landmark. There is applications also at the museum that people can pick up. That's where they've, in the past, picked up and dropped them off. That's also where they do research. So the museum is in partnership with the village and the commission, but they are two separate entities. It's just because we don't have like a home base to store stuff that usually all of that stays at the museum. I don't know about new awards for next year, but I have heard from at least 5 or 6 people asking for new plaques. Their home was already plaqued, they just bought it, the people that sold it took it with them.
no,
Do you have any
Yeah.
new applications?
No,
Really?
So-
Not
My
as of
husband
right
turned
now.
one in.
when?
Oh, months ago.
And did he turn it in at the museum or at the village?
I don't know, probably the
Okay.
museum.
So we
Because
have,
that, okay.
That might
so we
explain.
received, as she knows, we have not received any 2024 applications. And I don't believe we even received any in 2023 because we didn't award any in 24.
Well,
Right.
that, I know that he applied. I can ask him
So,
where he dropped it off, so.
Yes. No,
And
that's-
are you have to meet one of those conditions, or are these 3 separate things you get a plaque for? If it's a
Yeah, there are
landmark
3 separate
or
things. If you happen to qualify for multiple in some crazy
Yeah.
way, then
Right,
we can.
right.
so, yes, so why we wanted to put this on here is because staff has gone through and pulled all the data that was on the website in order by order and built out basically a spreadsheet that tells the story of what has happened. There was a lot of Sears Home Awards, and then there was a whole bunch of landmark awards, and then there was multiple preservation, which are just old homes, not Sears or landmark, up to 5 in a particular year, and it was just like 5 people applied, so 5 people get it, and then nobody applied, so let's do 2 Sears. So it's like this kind of ebb and flow of just what was happening. There is 49 total preservation awards from 2000 to 2020. There is 15 Sears homes in that same time frame and 20 landmark in that same time frame. So what staff has done is the application in front of you, we are proposing a consolidation of the Historic Preservation Award, that it is one plaque and you guys decide how many you'd like to give out based on the applications that come in this year. Because as we've seen, there's been a drought of Sears homes. They've all kind of been plaqued.
Well, that's the
You know
thing,
what I'm
isn't
saying?
there a finite number of each
Yes.
category?
Yes,
So,
exactly. So we're thinking in 2025 might be the time to say, here is the Historic Preservation Award for the Village of Villa Park, and you apply, filling out the information, and then it's like, yeah, totally, you're gonna win because you're a Sears home when you ripped off the front from 1970, now it's back to the original. Sounds great, because that would have been a landmark and a Sears, right? I don't feel that we need to differentiate because we've kind of already called out all the old school ones. Now it's what's coming up new. And so our suggestion is the application you guys see in front of us. It is noting that it would be a 2025, and so then we would republish the 2026 and 2027, and we would run an actual awards program. And if you flip back, this is the new one with dates that spell out the timeline to make it all happen. So today is October 3rd. Applications open on October 4th.
amazing.
What?
Good
No
timing,
way.
good timing.
And then that means that this becomes available on the village's website under Historic Preservation Commission. There is a location where you actually submit everything. Our office, just like if you're going to go in front of planning and zoning asking for a variation or a building permit, you submit to us. Staff keeps the record, so there isn't that weird, is the museum or is it the village? It's the village. We have a folder, we have all the stuff, we keep record. Applications are due by December 31st in this timeline. And then look at that. January 2nd, your first meeting in January. Here is everybody that submitted. Review, discuss, figure it all out. You would like more information on that guy? Great. We'll reach out to that guy and then we'll bring it back to you on your next meeting. And then on March, you make a decision. They're going to get an award, they're going to get an award. Nope, they're going to get an award. We coordinate. Staff buys the plaques, get all that stuff. You don't buy the plaques anymore. Yep. Staff buys the plaques. We have a budget, all that good stuff. And then there's the proclamation, the meeting before May at Village Board proclaiming May is what? No?
Oh, no, we could totally do that.
Okay. And then the first meeting in May, you guys with the award winners come to Village Board, pomp and circumstance. Here's the award winners for this year. And then the cycle opens again June 1. So applications now are 6 months. You have a 6-month window. Tell your friends, blah, blah, blah. We're shortened right now because, as Lori pointed out, you didn't do anything all summer because that was the schedule. But now if you get to that every other month, you can start building a cadence.
Right.
June 1 opens them up. And they're going to review them December 31st. You've got a 6-month window. You got an old house. Did you do some cool summer stuff? Did you, blow off that 1970s wainscot and you found out there's all this awesome brick behind it? That kind of stuff. It builds, a story.
I have a couple questions.
Absolutely.
Has there always been this window of, it's just kind of whenever,
Yeah.
whatever, okay, and then,
The goal was always to try and get it awarded in May.
okay, because that's the month.
Yes.
That's
The
historic
problem was
preservation.
that the first meeting in May, the question was, did anybody apply? And at that point, you are far too late.
Right. So,
Front load.
how do you advertise this?
Mm-hmm. So we've got full social media. We have a full-time communications manager who we can give this to them. She can get this out to the world digitally, right?
Okay,
We also have newsletters, so we can put in that. And we also have the village board because all of our meetings, I don't know if you know, are televised as well. And obviously our website.
So,
Yeah.
does
Okay.
that mean it's separating from the museum, number one? Like, should we not have this stuff there?
Oh, you totally can.
Okay.
You can have a stack of applications. You're going to turn it into community development or the village hall. If it
Fantastic.
goes to village hall, we'll
Yeah.
get it. That's not
No,
a problem.
that's great,
So
Yep.
a lot of the research I think can still happen at the museum.
Yes.
Providing.
because there is a totally different massive packet that is at the museum that I
Oh.
need to.
Yeah.
pull,
But they will
Yes.
submit this online anyhow, correct?
We have it built for paper.
Okay.
Yeah. We have it built. It's a PDF you download, you fill out. Because the idea is that you're attaching
all these
photos and other
things,
things that you
right,
have, and a lot of that
turn
stuff
it in.
isn't
It does,
digital.
yep.
We know who we're dealing with. It's like, I have the blueprints.
Yeah.
blueprint. Like, okay, we
We
can
can
work with
scan
you.
them.
We'll
Right,
scan those
right.
in. We'll work with those people. You have a stack of photos from around the house? Excellent. We'll color scan those in and then we'll create that digital file to get it all to you guys. But people are coming in with tattered, this was in the basement for the last 50
Oh,
years.
yeah,
Like,
sure.
we understand what this actually is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the other question would be, so they can they still apply for getting their plaque?
Yeah, so that's a separate thing, and we can definitely talk about that a little bit more.
Okay.
But yes, what I would like to do, and this is obviously up to you guys, is that I now have the address in spreadsheets of everyone that awarded everything.
Yeah.
If you're interested, we can send letter to those exact addresses that says, questionnaire, do you know where your plaque is? Yes. Is it on display? No. If circled no, please put on display.
Yeah.
If circled yes, excellent. Like, congratulations, your award. Yeah. Do you have your plaque? No.
We get.
We would
Okay.
like to get the plaque
Replace
back on here, like, just you know
Yes.
how it is, right? Yes, because we now
Fantastic.
finally know, because
How to get it, how
yes,
to take care
we
of it.
can create a mailing list off of the data we now have.
Mhm.
That's fantastic.
So yes, just today I was talking with communications manager who said that she had talked to somebody who was
Yep.
looking for
Yep.
the plaque because, if you guys didn't realize this, the homeowner at the time was awarded the plaque and it was like their achievement, and it was never presented as the house achievement, and so they thought it was theirs to take
So
with them. Not realizing
it
that
stays
no,
with
the
the
house
house.
is the cool part, guys. This
Sounds
isn't
like what
yours.
happened with my
You just
doors
happen
in
to
my
right.
house.
You just happen to own
They
it
took
right
the
now. So I think we want to like shift the tone to the home, less background who owns it, that kind of stuff.
Hang it on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do-
and they're
do have
designed
the
to be
houses.
outside. They're designed
Right.
to be on that front porch, left of the house, left of the front door. Like that's the intent. And then we're starting to talk about the plaques themselves. Is that where we're gonna go?
Oh, you can.
Yeah, go ahead. And plus whatever else you're gonna say.
Well, I was gonna say unless like there's. So our plaque program is just local.
Mhm.
This isn't a national landmark.
Right.
So I was gonna say, if you're familiar with like the National Secretary of the Interior standards, they have the whole like George Washington slept here. That's not
Yeah.
what we're talking about
Right,
necessarily.
right.
However, I know that there's 2 national ones.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That
Museum
are, yeah.
and
Right.
Ardmore.
And it doesn't limit your ability to what you can do to your house either.
Right.
And a
Also
lot
correct.
of people worry about that.
Also correct.
Yeah. So
This is for fun. This
Yes.
is for
Yeah.
prestige. This is not
Yeah.
restricting your home
So-
or the value or any of that
yeah,
stuff.
and even the national one doesn't necessarily limit you, but that's a whole nother conversation. I think right now the plaques have had a certain look, and so this is also time that we could potentially look at a new standard if we were interested in doing that. I'm not sure how much all the plaques cost of the previous ones, but we were doing some research online, and we could definitely look at trying to design. If you have seen ones that you like, we can definitely try and mimic those designs moving forward too.
Yeah, because I think they were white with green lettering, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. Well,
They're oval.
I think
aren't
there's
they?
been a
They're
couple
oval.
of different
Okay.
options out there,
But
but
there's also like metal ones.
There's the brass that's designed to
or
be outside.
bronze, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
bronze, sorry, yeah. That's designed to be outside on display.
I have receipts somewhere in my email from varying,
Okay.
we got them from a certain place, but I think the price was different,
Mhm.
like throughout it, so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think from what we were looking at, and the prices were somewhat high, and so I was looking because I just ordered one for something else, and it was like under $100. So depending, they can be a little more economical potentially, but still incorporate a design that we think appropriate.
So these replacement ones would be of the new design potentially if we
If
chose
you
one.
want to go that
What about
route.
people who want to replace theirs then? They go, oh, I like that better than the ones that's on my house. Will you do that?
I mean, it's just creating a budget and doing it. I mean, if
Okay.
we're talking about under $100 each.
Okay. Yeah, if you're talking how many
Because I don't know
numbers,
that
your
we can
numbers
It
still
depends,
get,
yeah.
you know,
Are 50.
the one that
Depends
was
on
done in
50
2003 per, just grabbing one here. I don't know that I can still get that That was literally 20 years ago.
Right, right.
Like that manufacturer is now out of business because it was the guy down at the shop. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
yeah,
right.
no, we're standardizing it because it's a readily available plaque that is designed specifically to be outside, and it is with the wording that we will continuously use over and over.
So the replacement would be the new design or the new look?
That's what I would lean toward. Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
that we should adopt that, so.
Yeah.
I would prefer that.
Right,
yeah. And we
right.
can bring, and we have obviously we have time before we have to actually order this thing, so we
Sure.
can bring some options for you guys to decide.
Yeah.
Design, wording, you know, so then it's consistent, and then it's.
Size.
Do you want the year of the structure that it was built, or not? Right?
Yeah.
Do you want the address or not? Do you want the Villa Park logo with HBC across? You know, there's a whole meeting just on discussion.
Could we do that as part of the survey that you guys are gonna do? Ask,
We could, yeah.
What,
Yeah,
what they
like-
want on
yeah.
the flag,
well,
or,
I don't know how to, it doesn't have to necessarily be them. But getting outside input might not hurt. If you disagree,
no, I'm
that's
just
okay.
saying, I mean, I've
Opening
been
a can
on
of
boards before where the
Oh, for
board
sure.
hesitates to make a decision and asks the general population, and then nobody's happy
Yeah.
because instead of just saying, look at our new plaque, it's, everybody has an idea of,
Have you heard the phrase "a horse designed by committee is a camel"? That's, I think that's
I'm
what
not,
you're
I'm
saying.
not, well, I just hesitate to maybe give them three choices or some, but then if they don't get the one they like,
Sure, no,
then,
that's fair.
you know,
That's fair. We can.
It's-
decide
I'm
as a
just-
group.
bringing it up, it doesn't mean you have to go with that or anything, so I just sometimes, I've been on committees where,
What type
The
of
board
plaques
is-
did you guys have seen or for the other commissions or something else that do you have something similar, so maybe we can adopt?
No other commission does something like this.
They don't.
It's the only commission that does anything regarding placking or anything along those lines.
Okay.
there's something to think about.
Yeah, yeah. That's the plaque design is not for tonight. Like we do not need to define anything. We were just talking.
Sure.
This would be leading into. Yeah, but we have
Okay.
time. Absolutely. But yeah, so I mean, obviously, we wanted to make sure you guys were on board. One of the things, you know, architect. So that's what we're asking, because if the house, you know, looks fine, but if like a famous architect actually designed it, that's a qualifying reason that we should black this. Like, you know, the one we went and looked at, not
The
the
Frank
not
Lloyd
not
Wright
BMO.
one, the Frank Lloyd Wright one?
Yeah. So it's like I
That's
don't
on
know
what,
if that
Washington and Villa or Washington,
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah. So like I don't know that would have qualified under the old three programs
Right.
because architect was never really taken into consideration. Sears/Kit built, old, just old, right? Or did they do something to make it that landmark quasi interior landmark thing? I don't know that would have called for anything. But I
But it's
think
very
anybody in the
historic.
general
Lloyd Wright.
population would say a Frank Lloyd Wright house should be
Part of-
recognized,
Right,
right?
right.
So this kind of opens up
The new
to
window, yeah.
right.
Yeah, another,
Right.
Yeah,
And what was the? I mean, I don't know. We are now in the year 2024. Next year will be 2025, and
50 years is the. Keep going back to the national standards, which we're not, but
there's a guide.
yeah, 50 years is the house can be landmarked or a structure can be landmarked when it's 50 years old.
that's the definition.
Yes.
Okay,
So
just like
it's
an antique
not-
car type of thing.
Exactly. Vintage car is at 20, antique is at 30. Exactly. So it's not just the house that was built in 18 whatever. So now there's already
70s.
one home on here that's from 1956,
Wow.
but that was in 2003. So now if we come up 2025, we're looking at 1970, 1975. Now it can't be the track from 1970. It's got to be something, you know?
Right,
I don't know some other famous Chicago architect that built something down over off the Prairie Path that would qualify, but it does open it up to what maybe we don't automatically think of as a historic house because 50 years is actually the guideline. Just want to throw it all out there. This is, yeah. I don't know that the three program would have a sustainable life after we've seen the last couple of years, 0 applicants.
Yeah.
You can't plaque it again. you run out of
No,
things.
but
You know.
I mean, I'm on Michigan. We bought a
Mhm.
bungalow that's now gonna be 100 years old next year.
Hmm.
So that, which is why we applied. But there's so many bungalows around that area. I mean,
Mhm.
those would all qualify. I'm sure people don't even
No.
think about it, you know? And
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the bungalow that is the original brick and all the
the
original stuff.
original,
Yes,
the
right.
great thing about it is they
Yeah.
did nothing, and the terrible thing about it is they did nothing. That's what I always say. It's
Right.
like,
Well, yeah, if you got
Cool,
a
do
bungalow though that they
nothing.
decided to wrap in vinyl
oh,
siding,
did
you're like,
the pop-up?
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's probably
That's the other committee. Is there another committee for?
no.
No,
Demolish.
shoot.
Yeah,
The
demo
architectural
committee?
committee?
Yeah,
No, the
yeah.
architectural committee.
Oh no, we do not have that. No,
No?
we do not have architectural review committee. No.
You-
Residential.
No, thank
Did
you.
you just
I just
volunteer to do
volunteered.
it?
That's,
Sure.
we are
I-
not set up for that. This community is not
Even-
set up for that. No, I know, but I just.
I know,
Even
but
if-
it would,
Even a lot of communities that do have design review, it's not for single family.
Commercial.
oh, I know.
Commercial-
I work at an
multifamily.
architectural firm,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah, so.
we are in front of architectural
Yeah.
review all the time.
There you go. So yeah, so that's our ideas and what we're trying to. This is the research we've been doing for the last couple of months and putting this together and being like, what do you think? What are we missing? Is there anything you were suggesting besides the plaque? Obviously, we'll talk about that later. But
You did answer all of my
Okay.
questions.
and obviously, you guys have the ability to promote. You're asking how do we get it
Right.
out?
How do you
Word
get
of
it
mouth
out
in
there?
this town obviously works very well, but
Sure.
we will have the official application on the website. Go to the website. Go to the website. Go to the website. We'll have a stack of them. You guys have a museum. We'll have them at our office.
We do have like a window display, but we're gonna have to update it if we're
Yeah.
changing the plaques.
Yes.
The museum does advertise when people come in.
Mhm.
The docents talk about it.
Mhm.
And I also did put it in our newsletter
Okay.
as well. But I did clarify that it was a village thing.
Yeah.
We partnership with
Yeah.
them and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Absolutely.
Is there any other discussion on the preservation
Is there
awards?
anything else you want on the application?
Yeah, I guess that's the other thing. This is what we thought made sense.
But if there's other
Um,
things on the existing application that you think are important that are missing, those can be incorporated too.
Yeah, we still have some space to add additional information in here. We've got about a half a page we could fill in. So I was just,
And about 4 hours to get it done because.
yeah, it's no
that
time.
program
That's
starts
right.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We'll be going live tomorrow.
Do we have a list of all the old homes in Villa Park?
So I would ask for the definition of old. I have a list of the landmark, the preservation, and the Sears catalog plaqued homes.
Okay, so the year they were built or so forth, or they potentially could be qualified for this?
Does the county have that in their data?
I don't know. I don't know.
But just
Because maybe
being
they're not
over
aware
50
of
years
it.
old shouldn't qualify you, I don't think.
Right, right. Just
That's
because you're
half.
50, that's just one part of the puzzle.
Right.
Right. You don't automatically qualify.
Correct.
So
You have to be 50 and have another qualifying attribute.
yeah, and it's up. And again, it's just a guideline. So it's actually up to this commission when they submit for you to decide if that other thing or those two other things, if you will, make
Or there is
it
an
worthy of the
factor,
plaque. Exactly.
right.
Just
And-
being old. Just being old.
Can we put, I know the information is on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Can we put even a small blurb somewhere saying something along those lines? I know there's a couple of things that they're asking for, but just so that
Mm-hmm.
if somebody grabs it,
Yeah.
because there will be some like, not retraining, but at the museum to make sure the docents know what to say.
Yeah. Sure.
If somebody asks about it.
Absolutely. Okay.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy either.
No,
just-
yep. Either general information regarding the award plaquing. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. If everybody's okay with it, we can move on.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so my application, my husband said he turned it in at the village manager's office. So,
Okay.
We'll look into that. When did he do that?
oh gosh, It was a while ago. You did a ton of research on it.
We will look into it.
Yeah.
I might want to highlight submit at our office as opposed to the village office to get it,
Yeah.
take away one step.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so
Cool.
we can.
We can add the blurb, update that,
Yep.
and obviously, if there's something else you think of, we can put it on, repost the PDF, no big deal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do not hesitate to bring something else to us
Sure.
if some people start filling it out. Why, we don't know yet. Cool. Cool.
Okay, item 4 would be public comments. We don't have.
Oh, do you wanna go back, do you wanna formally adopt it?
Oh, yeah,
With a
I'm
vote?
sorry.
No, that's okay.
I make a motion that we adopt the discussion we had.
The application as presented,
Or as amended.
It's
as
amended.
amended, okay. I second it.
And then you can do,
A roll.
or you can do voice vote, all in favor.
All in favor.
All right.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, good. Cool, passes, awesome. All right, now you're up. 4?
Public comments. We don't have public in attendance. Item 5 is commissioner comments. Does anybody have comments?
Since this is the first meeting, we're learning, especially I'm learning and adopting how we should proceed in the future. So right now, I don't have any comments.
Okay. You have nothing?
I don't have any comments, no.
Then we can move on to item 6, staff liaison comments.
No, we don't, huh?
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, we actually already talked a little bit before the meeting, but no, this meeting was very important to establish the new Historical Preservation Commission, in all honesty, right?
Yeah.
New chair, new members, new programs, new meeting schedule, like, we were trying to legitimize this commission, and with your guys' approvals of these last 3 things, I think you're going to be doing some good work.
So I do have a question.
Yeah.
Aside from giving out these awards, what is the responsibility or what is the mission of this commission? What else do we do, promote?
Absolutely.
Do you get into commercial at all? Do you
So,
space at all?
so to clarify,
or
so this
parks,
is
or-
not specific to just homes.
Okay,
Yes, so this is structures and buildings, it's not just a home. There have been, under preservation, a community congressional church, couple of, where'd they go? Ardmore School was on here. Commercial building from 1911, commercial building from 1915. So like homes is primarily what we think, but it's actually not restricted to that. So this is opening to all the historical structures, if you will. What the mission, which is what I was getting to, is.
Everything is available online.
Mm-hmm. You have it? Oh yeah, there it is. Thanks. Hey, you should get it. You don't need to do it. You can do it.
To continue to increase the number of historic designations within the village and maintain a close watch over historic integrity of historic properties. Ensure that policies and decisions on community growth and development respect the village's heritage and enhance overall livability. Establish partnerships with business and community organizations supporting preservation efforts. Increase public awareness of historic preservation through education and special programs to build civic pride. strengthen ties with state and county historical preservation commissions, to to preserve, protect, and promote the Village of Villa Park through preservation, public education, community partnerships, and heritage tourism, and work with the Chamber of Commerce to promote tourism through historic preservation.
So
Very
do we have any
broad.
functions? Are there any functions then, because it said to like have some type of community programs, or are there programs, are there any community
used to
like?
be.
There
Yeah.
used to be,
There
yeah,
used to
or
be,
like
they would-
encouraging a group of people to work on an area or something that would either get it back to the way it was, or has there been, you said there has been things?
There have been programs in the past. I don't know if they were all held at the museum. Maybe some of them were at the library. I don't know if any of them have been at the village. I know there's been like talks on Sears homes and things like that, but I don't know that they're necessarily to get like an entire neighborhood to change. You know what I mean? I know the village is working on that with at least the commercial stuff, not.
Redevelopment,
Yeah.
right, yep. So, actually, one of the things, you wanna talk about the grant programs we just approved?
I was just gonna ask you
Yeah.
about grants.
Yeah, so go ahead.
We just got approved by the village board 3 grant programs for the TIF districts. There's 3. One would be for a facade improvement program. One is a tenant improvement program, and one is a site improvement program. So facade is exterior of the building, tenant is interior build out, site is everything outside the building. So parking lots, landscaping, things like that. All of these were specifically for TIF districts, so utilizing those TIF funds to try and get redevelopment and spur redevelopment, improve properties within those districts. In each of them, you can apply for all 3 at one time or just individual. The individual grants are up to $25,000 each, and it's a 50-50 match with the village up to that $25,000 mark, with a minimum spend of $5,000 on a project. So
So the facade one in particular is one that we can use and
Yeah.
roll out on some of the older commercial buildings that we have that have been slapped
Covered
with
up.
wood and vinyl and things and covered, right? We can help offset some of the costs of bringing that back to its original integrity. And so, yes, we just created this, was actually approved at the last village board meeting. So now we do have a bucket of money, if you will, to help offset some of those costs. And so if you guys, as a commission, would like to, and this is up to the chair, as the next meeting, target particular addresses, these are the ones you think have some gold behind them,
Potential, yeah.
then we can, again, reach out to them and say, here's the grant program, you've been targeted,
would you like to
are you
apply?
interested? We can't do it for them, but we as staff can then have the
Can
ability
make
to
them
walk them
aware
through the
that
grant
it's
program and say, this is what we got.
Available.
Have you been thinking about this? Well, I've been toying with it, but it's really expensive. Would you like a 50-50 match? So, yeah. Now you guys, we manage the grant program. You just can identify things. Like we've
Right.
already personally gone through the corridors and we've got a couple, but you guys have been here longer than we've both been here probably combined. So you guys are more in tune on some things maybe we're not. So St. Charles Corridor,
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you.
Yep.
where-
St. Charles Corridor, Villa up until I guess it's Park, right? Up until Park. So Villa to Park.
North, going park north.
Saint-
where-
Going Park North, yep. All the way to St. Charles, yep. All of St. Charles. So anything that's got a St. Charles address would qualify. And then Metro Station location. A couple around there. So the commercial on the west side of Ardmore. The
Right by
Metro
the
Station
tracks,
itself
right by, just
qualifies.
north of the tracks
Yep.
there.
Yep, and then a couple of the duplexes and apartments to the north. All of North Avenue. That's pretty much it. That would be very generally speaking, right? But yeah, all of North Avenue, all of St. Charles, and then
Villa.
Villa north of Park. That's your highlight reel. So if there's anything in there, you're like, oh man, that's covered up with some, terrible
Yeah.
wood. There's gotta be some brick behind that. Let us know, and then we can reach out, and we've got a couple that we're gonna reach out to as well, but. Yes, so yeah,
Okay,
that is available.
So the maximum is 25 per?
25
correct.
per,
Per-
each of the
per
three
category.
Yeah,
grants.
so it could be up to 70.
Exactly.
If you
yes.
do all three, correct, yep.
Right.
Yeah, so if there's a vacant dilapidated building and someone wants to move in and do a complete overhaul, you apply for all three, cause you can stack them. They're gonna spend $400,000. We're
We
definitely
come-
gonna meet.
we come in, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yep. Uh-huh.
Okay, is there any other comments, any other
that was the other
topics
one.
for you two?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it was getting this, setting up 2025 for success, and then mentioning those grants, cause, yeah. Yeah, and we have a meeting in November,
Yep.
but not in December.
Correct.
And then, so
January.
technically, November will start your every other.
Yeah,
We'll
that's true.
kickstart it early.
That's true.
so is it 7:30 still next month?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay.
next month will be 7:30 because it'll be the calendar year after that will get it changed.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so he said he sent it in months ago.
Okay.
It's when the village manager suggested I apply for the position, and that was, months ago.
Okay. I'll
So,
check with
check or
the
maybe
front office
he's-
and
I'm sure he's
see
got a
what's going on.
copy.
I will check with the museum as well, make sure that nobody from there brought it there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna do a whole rollout with our staff now that this is official, just like any other program we have, but, yeah,
Good.
excellent. I don't think we have anything else then.
Okay. Then we can adjourn the meeting.
Yeah, so you need a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll second that.
Okay,
Meeting-
all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
There you go.
8:13.
8:13.